Welcome to the studio, it's Royal here, and today I'm pulling out some beautiful dissolved National Geographic papers, yay, and we're creating a fabulous collage directly on the gel plate. Yes, wait till you see this. Right, so I have a pile of the dissolved National Geographic pages, which creates an incredibly fascinating texture. If you want to know how to make these amazing papers, have a look at the video here, and I'll put a link in the description under the video if you want to find out how to do this particular technique. It's using a particular cleaning supply, a degreaser. You put it on the paper and it creates these fabulous textures. Now, depending on what page you put your solution on, it looks incredibly different. I love the textures of this. I love that. That's just a normal text page. Oh, you got to check the back as well, because sometimes the backs are amazing. But if there's a beautiful photo on the page, it can turn out something like this. So I've got some fabulous red pages, yay. Oh, I've got some beautiful blues as well. Look at that. Loving that. And that's pretty good. You see some little images left on the page where it didn't get the solution, but we can rip those out and we don't need to use them. But they're also incredibly unique. They're individual. You can't reproduce it even if you tried. Even if you wanted to, you can't reproduce them. They're one-off original collage papers. Works like magic. Now, the only problem is that when you glue them into your collage, the ink does tend to reconstitute, which means it goes all smudgy when you put the matte gel medium on it. And I find that to be a bit of a problem. So I had a brainwave idea. What about today if we create a collage on the gel plate, starting with some of these beautiful papers and pulling in some other craft papers that I have, maybe some handmade papers, and we put together an actual collage on the gel plate and then pull it like a print. What do you think? I think it's a fabulous idea, and it would be a way of creating these in a collage that isn't going to smudge all of the beautiful ink that's on there. Right, well, I think I need my big gel plate for this project. Right, so I've pulled out my 16 by 20 inch gel elf plate. It does have a little bit of crusty bits on it, but that's not going to matter because we're going to be creating layers. Now, the hardest thing is going to be deciding on which of these papers I actually want to use. Which color scheme should I go with? The blues or the reds? I don't know, man. They're so beautiful and they're so hard to decide, but I'll have to decide on which ones I want to use. Maybe some of those, or maybe that one. And then I'm going to pull out some other papers as well. That's the thing with the Nat Geo papers. It really does make a whole heap at one time if you do the whole magazine. So I think I'll tear them so they're not like, full on hard lines. Tear them into bits perhaps and use different pieces of the colors. Oh man, they're so nice. They do still smell. So don't forget, you really do need to do this particular technique in a well ventilated area. That's for sure. But if we're going to create some layers, we should put something on the plate first. Yeah, let's get out some of the antique gold spray paint. Now I'm pulling out my brand new, yippee, largest size of the Dance Moves, which is at PM Artist Studio. Yay team, absolutely fabulous. Look at the size, and it's a brand new stencil. You gotta love that. So I'm going to put some of these shapes on the plate first, because whatever you put down on the plate first is what's going to be on top of your print at the end. So how about we put some beautiful bronze shapes on there? I'm thinking that could be fun. Let's put that there like that, and that one there. And I'm going to use the Liquitex Iridescent Antique Gold. Now this is an acrylic spray paint, which I love. Oh man, I've had trouble with these nozzles before. They do tend to get blocked up, which is a real pain. And Mum may have squirted the ceiling in trying to get one clear. But not to worry, not to worry. It's not today's problem. Let's put some of this on the plate. We want a few dance moves in the fabulous largest size. Love it to bits. Now, we are going to have to, once I stop spraying it, we have to wait until this layer is dry and then put the fabulous papers on next. Ta-da, ta-da! I absolutely love it. Now, you could turn this over onto a piece of paper and suck up all of that fabulous antique spray. That always works well. I'll do that over to the side while this is drying. Look how good that's going to be. Don't forget, PM Artist Studio is where you'll find the large size, brand new, look at the amazing dance moves. So next I'm going to add some of these beautiful little pieces. Now these fabulous handmade little treasures came from Thomasina's travel pack that I recently purchased and totally love. So I'm thinking a few of these little pieces on the plate in some different areas, and then I'm going to add some bigger pieces on top so we get those beautiful multiple layers that I so love about collage art. And I'm thinking when I pull the print after adding all of these beautiful layers, we'll have little bits and pieces of fabulous papers. Yay! Now the next one I want to add is some of these. These are actually craft papers that are stickers. So what if I pull it off, because I'm liking the idea of the paper being really, really thin, so that as I build up the textures and the layers, I can make sure that they all blend together. Now, where I've got some other layers now, I'm going to add some gloss medium onto these areas. My spray paint may not be entirely dry, but we can't wait for things like that. So if it gets a little smudgy, it's because I'm really impatient and I didn't wait for it to dry. But what I want to do is create these other layers on top, and so they're all embedded together in the final pull, I'm going to put the gloss medium in between the layers to make sure they're all going to stick. Well, that's the plan, Stan, and we'll see how that goes. Let's add one of these over there. I'm liking these. This is fun. So this should be then on top of the edge of that and on top of some of the dance move, and then I'm going to add another piece on top of that, so you get parts of the papers. Oh man, this is just fun. I don't really know how well these craft papers will work, these stickers, because I haven't actually used them before. And they might wrinkle entirely with the gloss medium, but does that worry me? Nah, it's collage. We like layers. Now, I'm not sure where I've put the gloss gel and where I haven't, so I'm going to give it a very careful rollover to put the beautiful dissolved National Geographic pages on, because I want those pages to pull up the fabulous gold dance moves and these other papers. So let's put a good cover of the gloss medium on so that it all sticks together. so I've got all my collage papers on there. What I'm going to do now is roll a layer of the gloss medium on the top and put on some wet strength tissue. And then I just have to wait for it to dry, being the patient person that I am. Now you do have to be a little careful because you could possibly pick up some of the papers that aren't actually stuck down, that are just sitting there, that missed out on the gloss medium. So a little bit of a gentle roll, not too crazy, just so you get the whole thing covered with the gloss medium so that it'll stick to the wet strength tissue, and hopefully hopefully it'll all pull off the plate. Have I mentioned that I haven't actually done this before? I love experimenting. Right, let's see if we can get the wet strength tissue on without too much drama. Now, how long am I going to leave it to dry? I don't know, man, until I become too impatient and pull it off. But maybe I'll go and have some lunch. That might help. That might help me wait a while. Righto, wet strength tissue is on. Let it dry and let's see if we can actually pull it all off the plate. Okay, so I left my experiment for at least 30 minutes, a good 30 minutes, maybe even 40 minutes. And I did have my little fan on because I wanted it to dry as best as possible. Now, should we see what we got? Oh man, I've got no idea if this is actually going to work, by the way. Oh man, the ink's come off the Nat Geo paper. That wasn't supposed to happen. It was supposed it was supposed to all pull up in one big cohesive collage embedded piece of amazing paper. But oh man, oh, my dance moves looks good. It hasn't quite gone according to plan. I don't suppose that happens to you. Oh, look at that. The ink stuck on the plate. Oh, but the paper's coming up all right. Do you think I should have waited longer? Yes, I should have waited longer because it's still wet. The gloss gel medium is still wet on the plate and it's left some of the Nat Geo paper behind. Well, you know, there's a good lesson. Shall I stop and wait? Oh man, I'm so not good at waiting. But look how cool it looks. Look how wet it is. Too much gloss medium. But the idea is working, right? The collage embedded with the papers is looking good. I'm loving that. The craft papers work well. The Nat Geo papers are still stuck to the gel plate because the gel gloss medium is still wet. But where it's dry, it's come off. And my dance move looks amazing, of course. That's a really cool idea. I'm loving that. Oh, hurry up and dry. Jeez Louise. Nah, I don't think I can wait. I think I'll just pull it up and fix it later because I'm going to put another lot on the plate and use paint next time because maybe the gloss gel medium, which took like forever to dry, maybe it would work better with paint. Or maybe I could just wait longer. There's an idea. Look, that's stuck to the plate because the gloss medium is still wet. Oh, I think that's pretty funny. Righto, well, I'm not waiting. I'm pulling it up and then I'm going to put another lot on the plate over what's still stuck there because I didn't wait long enough. So, you know, there's a lesson to learn. You really do have to wait for these kind of techniques if you don't want it to become a bit of a mess. I'm okay with that because I can fix it. That's it. I'm pulling it up. Let's see what we got. That's what's left on the plate, quite a few pieces, and the gloss medium is still quite wet, but I'm thinking let's just put another layer or two over that and just leave it longer. All right, because the ideas worked. Look at that. That's so cool. I definitely think the idea is a great idea, and I could put some touch-ups on this and I'll fix it, and you're going to be amazed at how well I can fix this collage paper. I actually don't mind all of these leftover bits and pieces on the plate. I think that's going to make a really fun layer, and the print actually looks really good. I can fix the little scratchy bits. That's okay, because some of it just looks really good, even though it's a little torn. That kind of adds character to it. So I'm putting a little bit of the bronze on first as my first layer. I say a little bit again. I'm not good for little bits. All right, what have I got to use? How about we put this on? That's a beautiful Thomasina piece. Let's put that right there. That's gonna work. This time I'm going to wait longer for it to dry. That's the plan. Should we get some reds? Yes. Look at these stunning papers. Aren't they amazing? You just can't repeat them. That's what I love about it. And the whole torn aspect of it, I think that's okay. That's all right. So, you know, if you've got brilliant ideas that didn't quite go according to plan, don't stress out about it. Just learn something, try another idea, and have another go. Doesn't really matter. Let's add some more of the warm tones into this one. I really liked the layers on the print. That worked really well, that idea. I think I just had too much gloss medium and I was too busting to see how it looked. So, you know, maybe I should have waited a bit longer before I pulled it up, but meh, I wanted to see how it's gonna look. I like the way you can see the different shadowing even of the papers that are layered on top of each other. I could actually put more paint on this one and not so many papers. That's another idea. But I don't know, man, I'm liking the layered paper look. I think it looks pretty cool. And where they're overlapping like here, it does need to have a little bit of something so that they stick together. Just not as much as I put on last time, perhaps. Perhaps. Maybe not so much. And maybe wait longer. Oh, man. Okay, so this time I'm going to leave some gaps on my gel plate and I'm going to use paint to pull the print onto the wet strength tissue. And that's another experiment and we'll see how that works out. Right, I'm going to use unbleached titanium to put on for pulling the print, and I promise this time I'll wait longer. But I really don't mind the tattered and torn sections of that other print. Wait till you see what I'm gonna do to it. It's gonna be amazing. Anyway, unbleached titanium. We'll put it on some wet strength tissue. I'll leave it longer than 30 minutes clearly, and we'll see how it goes. Well, at least you'll know how long you need to leave these things on the plate. And it's always fun to experiment. That's how you learn, that's how you grow, and that's how you answer all the questions that you might come up with. Don't stress out if something doesn't work the first time. Just have another go at it. Try another idea, make the most of it. Nothing's ever wasted. It's all fabulous collage paper anyway. Right, we've got a good covering of unbleached titanium. Let's put on the wet stack tissue. Leave it longer than 30 minutes and we'll see what happens with this one. Oh, that's the plan, Stan, and it's a whole lot of fun. Right, so while the other one is drying on the plate, because you know I'm going to let it dry a lot longer. I'm loving this one. I know that it ripped and torn and didn't turn out perfect, but what is perfection when we're making art anyway? It's got such a nice feel about it. I'm loving the layers of the paper. I don't even mind the torn bit or the crinkles bit because it just creates more character, I think. So I'm going to do two different things. I'm going to put some paper on these bigger areas with my fabulous gloss medium. Now I've got some torn bit leftovers. This bit will do on here. And then I'm also going to fill some areas with some paint. But these Nat Geo pages actually turned out pretty good in it, don't you think? I think this would make a really good start for a mixed media painting on canvas. I could just glue the whole thing down and then keep working over it with different layers. That just might happen, maybe. This is like similar colour. Let's go with this one. And I've got so many of these papers. That's the thing. When you're dissolving a whole magazine, it makes a stack of papers. So that's going to work on the bigger areas, and then I'm just going to add some paint into these other areas, put a few other different bits and pieces on, and I'm thinking it's going to be just fine. Happy with this, even for all the torn sections and the oopsies. I'm actually loving it. I think I've got all of the holes covered now with a little bit of paint, and that was a whole lot of fun. Now I'm just not happy with that section there, so I'm going to use another one of these that I originally used because I don't know, man, I think it's a little insipid. And do I like that any better? No, you know, I don't think I do. I know I'm hard to please. So a little bit of paint on there like that, I'm thinking. Put it on, smudge it around like that. And I think that is a whole lot better. My dance moves look great with the gold there. And I think that looks good. Now I'm going to leave it alone. I absolutely love it. And I definitely could use this as the basis, stick it onto a canvas and start a creative mixed media collage painting with it because I think it's fabulous. Okay, well I learned my lesson from from the first print, and this time I waited overnight. So the print definitely is dry now, and I seriously can't wait to see what we got. Now you are going to have to be a little gentle even when you wait overnight, like a very patient person, because we're pulling off layers of paper. Some of them may not have stuck well to each other. Some of them definitely did. Ooh, baby. Maybe we'll pull the plate off the paper rather than the paper off the plate, because I'm thinking that might be a better way to get it off without it tearing. Look how fabulous it's coming off when you wait long enough. Now, timing is one of the questions I get a lot. How long do you leave it on the plate? How long do you wait? So this was a really good exercise for timing. For this kind of print that you've got layers and layers of paper and medium, you really do need to wait for it to dry completely, which for me is better to leave it overnight because I get impatient and I just want to see it. Ta-da, ta-da! There we go. Have a look at that. Look at my beautiful collage jelly print. Man, that is so much fun. Now, we've got one little piece here that's still stuck to the plate. That's okay. We can glue it back on because it probably wasn't stuck enough on the paper that I put on behind it. But it does make a huge difference waiting for the print to actually dry properly. So there you go. Timing is really important for this kind of print, and I'm really happy with it. Look at it. It looks amazing. It's got all of these different layers and textures, and there's the unbleached titanium paint through there in the background, and all of the fabulous little bits and pieces, and of course my glorious dissolved National Geographic papers. The textures are beautiful. Oops, then there's another piece that came off. The layers are fabulous. The colors worked out all right, and we can see some of the dance moves from the first print. That wasn't quite dry. Now they're on the second print. See, it all works out in the end. I absolutely love the print, and I loved the technique. I would definitely now put this whole piece onto a canvas and create a mixed media collage painting, which we might do in a future video. Now, don't forget, I'll put the link in the description under the video for how to make the National Geographic pages. But if you can't get the sets yourself wherever you are, or you don't want to, it's messy and very smelly, you can download my digital collage papers. I do have a pack on my website where I've photographed some of these beautiful papers, just because the technique is a little tricky. So you can download the digital version and then do exactly the same technique. Easy peasy. Now don't forget, you will find more info in that description under the video where to find my big, beautiful, brand new dance moves in the super large size. Everything's better when it's bigger. I really hope you enjoyed the episode today. I know I did. I had a lot of fun. And don't forget, if something doesn't work the first time, just keep trying. Have another go. Try a different technique, or just stick it on. Don't stress about it. Keep creating, keep developing your art practice. Come back and join me again next time, and I'll see you in the studio.